In the heart of New Orleans, behind the grand facade of an opulent mansion, lurked a nightmare no one could have imagined. Beneath the charm and grace of Madame Delphine LaLaurie lay a darkness so cruel that even the whispers of her atrocities could not capture the full horror until a fire revealed the unspeakable truth, forever branding the mansion with a legacy of terror. Hello to all my fellow creepy little weirdos. My name is Christina, and I'll be your tour guide through the realms of the unexplained, the paranormal, and the just plain weird. Welcome to Horror, History, and Hauntings. In the heart of New Orleans, nestled on Royal Street, stood a grand three-story mansion owned by a woman of both charm and terror. Madame Delphine LaLaurie, born Marie Delphine McCarty on March 19, 1787, she was the daughter of an affluent Creole family. Her beauty and grace made her a high fixture in New Orleans high society. She married 3 times, her last husband being Dr. Leonard LaLaurie, a much younger man whose connection to the medical field seemed to interest her in dark ways. The LaLaurie mansion became the pinnacle of opulence and sophistication, where Delphine would host lavish parties that dazzled the city's elite. They marveled at her wealth and admired her charm, never suspecting the horrors hidden behind the mansion's grand facade. To the outside world, Delphine appeared to be a benevolent and refined lady. Yet rumors swirled about her treatment of the enslaved people who lived and worked in her home. Whispers about the brutality they endured grew louder and louder over time, but it wasn't until a fateful incident that her mask of gentility began to crack. One day, a young enslaved girl, Leah, she was roughly 12 years old, was spotted running across the rooftop of the mansion, chased by Delphine herself. Witnesses later recalled how the girl plummeted to her death, an apparent attempt to escape the savage wrath of her mistress. Delphine had flown into a rage after the girl had accidentally pulled her hair too hard while brushing it. The little girl's body was supposedly buried on the mansion grounds. Her fall was witnessed by neighbors who reported it to the authorities, resulting in an investigation. Though LaLaurie was forced to sell some of her slaves and pay a fine, she managed to purchase them back through intermediaries, allowing her cruelty to continue behind the mansion's walls. Delphine LaLaurie's cruelty did not stop at physical punishment. She devised a chilling and sinister realm hidden within her mansion. In the attic, far from the glamorous rooms where she entertained her guests, lay a secret laboratory of horrors. Here, bound in chains, shackles, and even iron collars, enslaved individuals endured unspeakable torment. The attic became a nightmarish chamber where Delphine, with her husband's supposed medical expertise, engaged in twisted experiments. One victim was found with their bones broken and reset in grotesque angles. Another woman had her skin filleted off. Some were kept in small cages too cramped for them to move, and many were found with gaping wounds, festering infections, and malnutrition. It was here that the true horror of Delphine LaLaurie's evil was most evident. A calculated and methodical cruelty beyond the understanding of even the most callous observer. On April 10, 1834, the LaLaurie mansion caught fire, the result of a desperate attempt by an enslaved cook to escape the hellish torment. The fire blazed through the kitchen and quickly spread, drawing neighbors and authorities to the scene. The cook later stated that she started the fire as an attempt to commit suicide because she feared Madame LaLaurie's wrath, and that slaves taken to the uppermost room never came back. As the flames were extinguished, onlookers who had long suspected something sinister looked inside the mansion, rushed in to investigate. What they found sent shock waves through the city. Chained to walls, trapped in small filthy rooms, and grotesquely mutilated were several enslaved people. Some were barely alive, suffering from festering wounds, broken limbs, and ghastly injuries inflicted over time. Many had been victims of bizarre medical experiments, limbs stitched to different parts of their bodies, mouths that were sewn shut, eyes gouged out. The level of inhumanity was beyond comprehension. The people of New Orleans were horrified. The stories of Delphine LaLaurie's unspeakable cruelty spread quickly, and an enraged mob descended upon the mansion, smashing windows, tearing down doors, and destroying much of what remained of the home. As news of the discovery spread through the city, Delphine LaLaurie vanished. Her mansion, now in ruins, stood as a hollow, broken shell of its former grandeur. There were rumors she fled to France, where she lived out the rest of her days in exile, free from justice. Some say she faked her own death. Others that she died in Paris under an assumed name. But her exact fate still remains a mystery. What remains certain is the legacy of terror she left behind in New Orleans. The mansion, though rebuilt, carries an eerie, haunted air. The horrors that occurred within its walls were not easily forgotten. And to this day, many believe the spirits of those enslaved souls linger there still, seeking the justice they were never granted in life. The LaLaurie Mansion stands today as one of New Orleans' most infamous haunted locations. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported hearing cries of agony, seeing apparitions, and feeling cold gusts of air that seem to emanate from the mansion's upper floors. Some claim to hear chains clinking or the soft moans of those who suffered under Delphine's hand. The true horrors of the LaLaurie Mansion, however, lies not in the ghostly tales, but in the very real and unimaginable suffering endured by those enslaved within its walls. Delphine LaLaurie may have fled, but the weight of her cruelty lingers as a grim reminder of the depths of human evil. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please show your support by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It would really mean the world to me and would help me out so much. Also, you might also like this video about another haunted or cursed place, or this playlist. As always, thank you for watching. Good night and sweet dreams. Bye-bye.